How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was December 7th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Lee Moriarty versus Mysterioso. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Lee Moriarty went over with the flatliner. Match 2, it was Leo Rush versus Ryo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Leo Rush went over with the frog splash. Match 3, it was Brandy Rhodes versus Angelica Risk. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Brandy Rhodes went over with the neck crank. Match 4, it was Emi Sakura versus Ryo Mizunami. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Emi Sakura went over with a roll-up. But after the match, Mei Saruga came into the ring. After the match, as Emi Sakura was celebrating, Mei Saruga came in the ring to celebrate with Emi Sakura, and Ryo Mizunami tried to attack Emi Sakura and beat the shit out of her, but Mei Saruga attacked Ryo Mizunami from behind and started beating the shit out of her, and then Emi Sakura joined in and beat the shit out of Ryo Mizunami. So Emi Sakura and Mei Saruga were ganging up on Ryo Mizunami, beating the shit out of her. Then Riho came out to the aid of Ryo Mizunami, and so Emi Sakura and Mei Saruga retreated while Riho was tending to Ryo Mizunami. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 5, it was Anthony Ogogo versus Baron Black. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Anthony Ogogo went over with the Olympic Slam. Match 6, it was The Pinnacle, which are Shawn Spears and Wardlow versus Richard King and Jay Marty. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Shawn Spears and Wardlow went over cause Shawn Spears pinned Richard King with the powerbomb from Wardlow. That was match 6, by the way. Match 7, it was Fuego del Sol versus Luke Sampson. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Fuego del Sol went over with a leaping foot with the leaping foot stomp. That was match 7, by the way. Match 8, it was Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Dante Martin versus JT Dunn, Kakoa, and Omkar. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Team Taz went over cause Dante Martin pinned JT Dunn with the double jump moonsault. Well, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Dante Martin, along with Hook. And Tony Schiavone was bringing up Team Taz being in the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal on AEW Dynamite and everything. And then Ricky Starks brought up how Team Taz have a 100% chance of winning the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and talked about how Leo Rush is now broke financially and has no friends and everything. And then Leo Rush came out and with a microphone, and Leo Rush was talking about how he don't like to make promises because but because you never know what's going to happen in this crazy world. And he also roasted Dante Martin on breaking promises, and then roasted Powerhouse Hobbs on not getting the job done, and roasting Ricky Starks for his shenanigans and everything. And then Leo Rush was talking about how Team Taz wasn't going to win the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and how he was going to be on top and for the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and that Team Taz was going to fill the rush and everything. That was cool. Well, Leo Rush and Ricky Starks went back and forth in that promo and that segment and everything, because Ricky Starks was talking shit towards Leo Rush and everything as well in that segment, which, that, like I said, that segment was cool, and just the whole segment in general was cool. Okay, that was match 8, by the way. Match 9, it was Thunder Rosa versus Sofia Castillo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa went over with the Bavarian Calavera choke. Well, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Thunder Rosa, and Tony Schiavone was bringing up about Thunder Rosa being one of the semifinalists of the TBS Women's Title Tournament, and her issues with Jade Cargill and everything. And Thunder Rosa brought up about how she's appreciated the support from all the fans even before she started in AEW and everything. And Thunder Rosa also talked about how she was going to kick Jade Cargill's ass, and she was going to advance in the TBS Women's Title Tournament and win the TBS Women's Title and everything. And Mark Sterling Mark Sterling came out with a microphone, and Mark Sterling was telling Tony Schiavone to hit the bricks and everything. And then Mark Sterling was talking about how Jade Cargill couldn't make it tonight because she had Jade brand things to do and everything. And Mark Sterling also talked about how it was true that Thunder Rosa was disrespectful, and how she cheated, and it was also true that she lost to Jade Cargill fair and square and everything, and Thunder Rosa denied those claims. And then Mark Sterling got in the ring, and Thunder Rosa and Mark Sterling were going back and forth in a promo battle, and Mark Sterling was asking Thunder Rosa, "Is it true?" He said, and Mark Sterling was saying, "Is it true that you're a coward?" and everything, and Mark Sterling also said, Thunder Rosa denied that claim, but Mark Sterling was talking about how Thunder Rosa, but Mark Sterling was also talking about Thunder Rosa saying, "You know what is true, Thunder Rosa? Jade Cargill is that bitch." Well, Jade Cargill appeared in the ring, and Thunder Rosa turned around, and Jade Cargill attacked Thunder Rosa with a pump kick, and then Jade Cargill picked Thunder Rosa up and done an Irish whip to her, and then Jade Cargill done another pump kick to Thunder Rosa and laid her out. So Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling left the ring and everything, while Thunder Rosa was laid out and everything. That was cool. That was match 9, by the way. And match 10, which was the main event, it was John Silver versus Aaron Solo. That was a great match, but the ending to it, John Silver went over with the Spin Doctor. Well, after the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed John Silver along with -1, and Tony Schiavone was bringing up to John Silver about facing Bryan Danielson on AEW Dynamite and everything, and John Silver was talking about how Bryan Danielson has been on a roll since he's been in AEW, and he's beat the crap out of everyone in the Dark Order. He's kicked the crap out of Evil Uno. He's knocked Colt Cabana's tooth out, and he's injured Five's MCL, and John Silver was talking about how on AEW Dynamite he'll be able to touch Bryan Danielson and he'll be able to beat the shit out of him and everything, which that was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Now, there were no promos or segments throughout this episode of All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark. Well, yeah. So, there were no promos or segments throughout this episode of All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark. So, besides the matches, Taz and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Lee Moriarty versus Mysterioso. Rick Knox refereed the match between Leo Rush versus Ryo. Paul Turner refereed the match between Brandy Rhodes versus Angelica Risk. Rick Knox refereed the match between Emi Sakura versus Ryo Mizunami. Mike Posey refereed the match between Anthony Ogogo versus Baron Black. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Shawn Spears and Wardlow versus Richard King and Jay Marty. Paul Turner refereed the match between Fuego del Sol versus Luke Sampson. That's Paul Turner, by the way. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Team Taz versus JT Dunn, Kakoa, and Omkar. It's Aubrey Edwards, by the way. Rick Knox refereed the match between Thunder Rosa versus Sofia Castillo. That was Rick Knox, by the way. And Mike Posey refereed the match between John Silver versus Aaron Solo. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight, it's going to be Bryan Danielson versus John Silver, the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus Chuck Taylor and Rocky Romero, a Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal, and Riho versus Jamie Hayter. Those are the matches that have been announced so far. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite tonight looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dark from last night, which was December 7th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.